It's interesting, you know, a lot of you have come to my classes where I do hair all over the country, and I love to do that and show you the way I color. But it's also important for all of us to not only just do the color, but to really think about it. Because, you know, it's interesting. If someone has a pair of shears and they do this, the hair falls to the floor and there's a result. With hair color, you can put it on, but there's no immediate result, and it might not turn out the way you thought it would. So hair color is, there's a different brain, I think. A lot of, I treasure everybody. I bet most everybody in this room does everything, right? Everybody raise your hand. You cut, you color, you relax, you perm, you do, okay. And there are a few of us who, I love you, who only color hair. Okay, but if, thank you for you three people. But you know, but here's what's so interesting. If you 15 years ago, if you stood on a stage and asked people what they did, no one would raise their hand that they only did hair color. And I'm going to be talking to you a little bit with some slides to show you the importance that hair color still remains the access service of beauty salons. In fact, last year it grew. And it has continued to grow even through times that weren't so good or that were a little harder economically. Let's face it, a lot of us do wonderful fashion color. And I'm going to talk, I just saw what the Pravana people did, which was so beautiful. And I have to say, I use those colors, but I use them a little bit differently. Because, yeah, when hair is porous, when a hair shaft is faded and it's porous, it'll behave like a bleached piece of hair. So you don't have to pre-lighten everything to super light if you want a result that's fashionable, but not as more artistic than if you pre-lighten the hair. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of, as you know, brunettes, redheads, blondes, everybody. But when I'm doing brunettes, even women who are, you know, over 30 and they've got a little bit of gray, and they are mostly New York women who have good money to spend. I love those girls. Those are my kind of girls. They want everything, and they don't care how much, whatever. They don't, it's wonderful. I love those girls. What happens is, instead of just putting their color on, and then always, I usually, as you know, use my liquid demi-color to put tone back in the hair. Sometimes, and I need to say, we are in the experience business. If you behave the same way and do the same thing every time, that works for some people. But some people will come to me and I'll say, why, I always say, hi, it's so nice to meet you. Why, you know, have you been going to the same place? Or it's crazy when they say, I've been to every colorist in the world and I haven't ever had a good result in my life. Then you know you're in trouble, right? And then I always say, well, then I'm working at a disadvantage. But there are people who say, I've been going to the same salon for a long time. And guess what? They never do anything different. They just don't even talk to me. They just say, how are you? They start putting on the color. So I think they I bored them. So here's what I'll do. Every once in a while, instead of doing the retouch and then just glazing them, I will low light the hair with foil, or I'll paint it in. And I always use a demi-cream to do low lights, because a demi-liquid looks great the day you do it, and 2 weeks later you get the phone call, where are they? They're gone. And to beef them up, I might add one of these fashion tones, like a super orange, or a super yellow, or a super red violet. You understand what I'm saying? I'm mixing that up, and I'm getting the wearability because of the developer and the demi-cream, but I'm also putting that extra tonal punch in there. You understand? So she's not going to have brilliant crimson in her hair, but when she walks in the light, there will be these stronger red or oaky tones in her hair. Or if she's a person who's always, you know, frightened to death of red, you know, I don't want to see any, I don't want to see any warmth in my hair. You know, sometimes I say, do you want any shine in your hair? You know, so most of my clients like shine, you know. So I'll use very tiny weaves of a cool brown demi with a little bit of a blue direct in it. She's not going to have blue strands, but those porous strands are going to take a little more, a little cooler, a little more fashionable. You know what I'm saying? It's still going to be that if she goes to her husband's boring country club, oh, I shouldn't say that, or something else, that she'll fit in. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody has an audience. And if you have 20 women in your chair, you have basically 20 different audiences to which they play. Some people play to their church. Some people play to their husband and their social group. Some people play to their office, their boss. Everybody has to be themselves, of course, and they want to be an individual. But, you know, you don't see anybody on the Supreme Court, well, that's another question, but you don't see anybody on the Supreme Court with blue hair. You know, they're more gray and they're more toned down. And you don't see a lot of television commentators with, you know, they're either, a lot of them are blonde, let's face it. A lot of them are blonde, a little bit, some red, but mostly brown or blonde. That's who they're playing to. It's not that, and they look great, but it's their audience. All these people are watching me. What do they expect me to look like? So all of us have, you all have an audience, and you all have to be very, very individual about it, but create different things for different people and make the experience exciting. It's very interesting. My life's changed in the past few years, and I'm doing color in a salon, which is lovely. It's on Madison Avenue, right across from Armani, and it's a beautiful, beautiful situation. But you see how other people work, and you see that the price points for color can change not only in the work you do, but in the experiences you provide. Sometimes when the seasons change, especially when it's going to get to be summer, preparing them for summer, well, they're all going to complain that their hair is going to fade. And it is. And they should embrace that and be okay. But during that May, June appointment, what I sometimes do on a blonde who's like naturally a level 5, 6, or 7, I will put tiny threads of lowlights of a champagne or a like level 7 or 6 piece, because that hair's going to fade. And that'll keep her from looking that, you know, super 100% blonde on the ends, and it'll keep it revved up. There are lots of things to do, and including, you know, sometimes weaving in very, very, very ombre, soft painted highlights through the hair. And if you've ever seen my videos, you know I zigzag the foils in left and right, not just piling them up and down. So let's take a look first at some of the trends that are going on in hair color with a slide. And let's talk about the business of this quickly, and then we'll get into the art, okay? So when the slide comes up, we'll talk about it. Okay, that's the wrong slide. That should be the, okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, here's what's interesting. I'm not talking about what you do the most or what you think would be the most important, but this past year, and I get these incredible results from my friend Cyrus Bulsara, the top 10 fastest growing salon services. Number 1 was men's highlighting in America. Number 2, hair painting. Now we're doing more balayage, more painting, more free movement through the hair. Number 3 was like body treatments, so I left that one out. Number 4, global bleach and tone. Hooray. Pre-lightening the entire head and then taking the color, the bleach off, shampooing, conditioning, drying about 80%, and then toning with a demi. And that is or with any fantasy color you choose to use. That is hot and that is growing. Number 6, semi-permanent hair color. That would mean, again, more of the fantasy shades, the brighter tones. 7, my favorite of all, demi-permanent hair color. Yay, let's hear it. Now, I have to tell you, this is what kills me. You people are smart. There are people who refuse to use demi-permanent color. I don't know why. Yeah, you use permanent dye and you dilute it, right? And you're fine with it. So by the way, anything I say is what I do. Whatever you do and you're making money on, good. God bless you. No, and I'm not, it's not a joke. I'm saying we all have different ways. My way of refreshing ends is with demi color, and I think cream demis can do, when you want coverage with no lift at all, no lift at all, you got to use a demi. Why somebody would make a demi and then tell you to use a higher volume developer to get a little bit of lift? If you want a little bit of lift, use permanent color. It's the best thing to do. The hair, I'm going to draw a picture in a second about the health of the hair, but let's go back to the slide. I just want to go through. Then we have conditioning treatments, which thank God people are getting good conditioning. And of course, 10 is corrective color. Hair color remains as the backbone of the professional salon industry. So what we do keeps people in our chairs, keeps them coming back, and makes them trust us more to say, you need a different cut. Perhaps you need a smoothing service. This is the retail product you're selling. Sadly, retail has not done well this year. Now, I have my own thoughts. Okay, here's what raise your hand in this room, because if I've been here many years. 10 years ago, if I asked this question, hardly anybody would raise their hand. The question is, how many of you are independent contractors? Aha! How many of you are like some of us who work in a salon either on a commission or pay? Okay, but there's a lot of independent contractors, and I praise you. I think you're really brave people, and when I teach my classes and I'm doing hair, I have time, I'm up there for 3 hours, I'll say, why are you an independent contractor or a booth renter, right? And a lot of them will say to me, not everybody, so don't get mad. A lot of them will say to me, I worked in a salon and the owner did not treat me fairly. Do any of you agree with that? No? Yes? Some people, or I would like to have a more flexible schedule. I would like to be able to come in when I want to, leave. I want to know who my clients are. I want to just have the freedom to run my own business, to make my own. You know, sometimes a book will say she's a 30-minute appointment. She's not a 30-minute appointment. She's a 90-minute appointment. Then they put somebody right after, and then you have to call the lady, and you're like, I can't do that in 30 minutes. So if you book your own thing, you know everything. It's for more control. And I think it's growing. I understand that by the year 2020, about 80% of salons in America will be independent contractors. Okay. Yeah. So you like it. It's working great for you guys. Good. Where's your salon? Orlando. Oh, good. Congratulations. So if that's the trend, here's what it is. Is your salon suite, or where you're working, making it easier for you to sell retail or to stock enough retail so that if somebody wants something you don't usually use, you have it? That's only part of the issue of why salon retail is changing. There's a study that was done by the same gentleman who's given me some of these slides today that says this is a killer. Clients, and I'll say mostly women, want to buy professional hair care, but they don't really want to buy it at a salon. Now, I have some thoughts on that. They go to Amazon.com. You can buy my hair color today on Amazon.com for $27 a tube, and people are doing it. Amazon, I can't believe, no, people get all these exclusive lines, like Kerastase, like Purology, all those. They get them online. And pardon me? I think you have to do something a little different. And I think what you have to do is, in my view, realize that you are in a service business. And realize the most important thing is, the service. Okay, guys, if the service is important, you have to make it so good, and you have to use at the back bar what you want them to buy. If you're using Queen Helene Mint Julep at the back bar, and then showing them a big Kerastase bottle, and their hair's buzzed, that doesn't. They will buy what you use, and you can tell them and just say, I'm using da 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 da. And some of them will say, well, my hair feels so good. And I'll say, well, the conditioner we used was blah, 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 blah. While she's getting her coat and putting on her whatever, I take what I used and just put it on the desk. And I'll say to her, if you liked what I used, it's here. If you don't need it, maybe you only need the shampoo or the conditioner or the spray or whatever. That's the only way. It's my professional recommendation. Here's what's interesting. If a lady gets or a gentleman buys a really super duper performing product, and they get the wrong one, they think the product, they'll use something for highly bleached hair on their coarse virgin hair, and wonder why it didn't work as well, that it wasn't worth the money. Hi, Roy. So, it's just interesting that it is a challenge. So you have to realize it is the service, the service, the service. It's what you use at that back bar, and I never say, buy this, take this. I just take it to the front. And people always say to me, what do you use in your hair? and I tell them. And I think that when you work in a salon where your hair looks great and your hair looks healthy and moves, it helps you. It's like a dentist should have gorgeous teeth, right? If a dentist doesn't have great teeth, it's kind of scary. And we've all seen people who, you know, I don't have time to get a retouch, I don't have time to get a haircut, I put myself last. That you have to put yourself first. What I fear, because I have to get into my slides and stuff, is I live, aside from having my precious daughter, to elevate hair color to an art form. Got it? What you do, it is an art. It is not just a service. You are painters. You are painters of living fiber that goes in the car for a ride, that gets messed up, that gets in the sun, that changes its mind, it's attached to an opinion. But you are artists. And so making your art evolve, you know, every painting Van Gogh did does not look exactly the same. Every brunette should not be the same formula. Every redhead should not be the same thing every single time. Every blonde should never, ever not evolve. Evolution of color and doing color as it evolves through the seasons and through a woman's life. I have had clients who said, I want to be a brunette. And I said, first of all, if they're blonde and they want to be a brunette, don't believe them. Right? You deepen it a half a level and they start to cry and go, my hair's black, my hair's black. And they start doing that thing and they're pulling their hair, looking in the mirror, and then the lady next to them gets up, and then it's contagious because the woman next, she's not gonna like her hair either. Okay, but I've had people say to me, I can no longer be a blonde because I'm getting a divorce and I don't wanna look as I did when I was married to him. So I suggest a different hair shape, a cut, not super short. And I suggest I low light them and I add deeper strands through the hair, avoiding the face frame and the part, because if you put one on the face, it's, oh my God, there's my hair. No, make this so that when she's standing sideways and behind, people see a little dimension. And you say, look, let's do this as a color transition, not a color change. A color transition. People like that word a lot better than change or makeover. Makeover is a very old term. Right? We're going to make over makeovers. Transition. I'm going to transition you from the blonde you are to a deeper blonde, a different blonde. I can always make it deeper. Once I make you deep, I can't just, you can't come back next week and say, I want to be blonde. I'll ruin your hair, right? It's the way you talk to them. And you can say, live with this. Live with this. Let's see, you know, they have to ask their friends. They have to ask their mother. They have to ask their kids. They have to go to some school event where some lady said, did you do, even if a woman says, did you do something to your hair? Or a man says, did you do, they freak. So, you know, little by little by little, because we have to hold their hands. You are more important than you think you are. And you're more important than a lot of people in this world think we are. And that kind of upsets me. Does it get to you? I'll tell you what I don't like is that, you know, if people say to me, what do you do for a living? I say I'm a hair colorist. And it takes, not everybody, but that little moment that they do realize I read a newspaper, I know what's going on. I'm serious, because they believe, I think it's very wrong that we are perceived, in the state of New York, I can't call you a professional. We have to call you service workers, hourly employees. In the state of New York. I don't know how it is now. I can say he's a professional, but as the state of New York sees a hairdresser, an esthetician, a nail tech, or a hair colorist, you are an hourly person, not professional. But let's be fair. To be a doctor, you've got to go to college for about 14 years. To be a lawyer, you've got to go 3 years after college. To be a lawyer, that's 7 years. But my God, we learn every single day, don't we? We are in a laboratory of constant learning if we will allow ourselves. So we have to work very hard to elevate what we do, how we feel, and how we expect to be treated in our salons, okay? So let's go to the next slide really quickly because I want to talk to you a little bit about chemistry in a second. Okay, these are the number, this is important just for your business head. The number of salon services, the percentage increase during 2016. Of course, we don't yet have 2017 numbers because it's not done yet. We don't know, okay? Hair painting, look at this, guys, up 71%. Good for us putting dimension in hair and not just slapping on a Rita. Men's highlighting, take a look, up 110%. Pretty good. Yeah, get those guys in the chair. Okay, bleach and tone global, up 22%. That has to help you with your retail. If a woman has or a man has pre-lightened hair and conditioned hair, pre-lightened and toned hair with no good support when they wash, if they use, Pert or one of those things, it's all over, Maybe the people from Pert are in here, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying. They can't use crummy, lower quality shampoo. And they have to condition their hair every single time they wash it. Okay, take a look. Demi-permanent, up 20%. People are learning to glaze with a liquid sheer demi, and they're learning to low light with the demi cream. Salon retail is down. And you were right when somebody said Amazon. Okay, it's down, but that doesn't mean it has to go away. As I said, what you use at the back bar, they might take. And I don't like it when I've seen them go on their phone, get them, and right there, order it in front of me.
Yeah, they take a picture of the product.
Yeah, I've been there. I'm there with you. I stand behind the chair too. But you've got to keep on the face, and you won't sell perhaps as much, but you will sell some. And remember, you've got to make it up in the service. And I'm going to tell you why, and you're going to get mad at me. Most of you do not charge enough for your services. There are people I teach who tell me they have not raised their prices in 5 years. Okay, let's think of this. Now, if you're not any good and you don't care and you just come in and you're late all the time and you just whap the hair off, you shouldn't get... Is your household payment and your electric bill and your car and your insurance the same as it was 10 years ago? No. You can't... See, most people think, I'll make it up on the retail, I'll make it up on the retail. And for a long time, we could. Can't do it anymore. Has to be the service, and the service has to surround itself with things that you might not think of. And forgive me, your station should not look like the mantle of your home. Your station does not need pictures of your dog, your kids, your house. No, it shouldn't. It has to look professional. It should be wiped clean several times a day by you or your trusty assistant. It should display the products you sell, the spray, everything, the things you sell should be there, because that's a subliminal reminder to them, oh, look what they're using, look what they're using, look, because their respect for you has to be there. Okay, so let's talk about retail. The only increase in salons retail sales is shampoo. It's up 2%. Silver shades of hair color, that whole thing about gray, because gray can be terrific, but I like the word silver. 80% up, the desire for silver. And that also includes women who are choosing to allow their gray to come in. And that's not always a bad choice. It's usually a bad choice, but it's not always a bad choice. It's based on their skin and their eyes. We'll talk about it. Temporary color shades up 37%, but look at this. The cost of hair color for you. Hair color costs you about 46% of the money your salon spends for in-salon product use. 46%, that's like a half. So if it's a half, I don't want to see anybody who's doing a single process retouch here for $12. I wasn't sadly there. I was in a place in Pennsylvania, where I'm from originally, and we passed this place. I was doing a show there 2 weeks ago, and it said haircuts, $7. And I guess if I were that hairdresser, I'd move to another town, Okay, so that's a little bit about what's happening. Let's talk about the word silver and gray. I believe silver is a fabulous word. Silver is a decision. Gray is surrender, right? So don't even talk about their gray hair, like your gray. I say, oh, the silver's coming in, and you can either go with it or ignore it or minimize it. And there are people I have clients who are silver, but guess what? They see me for color. because I have one, I just love her. I wish she were here. She has this bob haircut, parted in the center and long bangs. She's probably in her 70s. She looks like incredible. Super thin, fashion like you wouldn't believe, very chic, giant glasses, great lipstick, so fashionable. And she has salt and pepper gray. So I low light, I do my fandangos, like 6 or 7 low lights of almost black in a row, and counter to them about 8 or 9 bleached highlights. So she looks like, I hate the word skunk, but she looks like black going on with the silver around the face, and then I glaze it with my Hi-Ho Silver 10 Ice, but you can use whatever demi-liquid you use that's blue. And I glaze it for 10 minutes, and it is this shining silver white against the black on that straight hair blown out with her fabulous lipstick and never gray eyebrows. If they want to go gray, do not allow the eyebrow to go gray. Okay, think about a guy who's really old, but he still looks good, and he's old. Sean Connery. Bald with gray hair, dark eyebrows, right? Dark eye, cute, right? Okay. Harrison Ford, same way. Go in salt and pepper, eyebrows aren't great. Women must color their, I know we're not supposed to, it's against the law, and I never do it. But you know there are salons where I've seen people, when you don't do it, here's what they do when you're not looking. Right?